Thank you, Cheryl. Now, videos posted online showed the aftermath in the village of Debil. According to reports by Al Jazeera, locals cited Israeli soldiers destroying solar panels which were critical for powering the village's electricity and water systems. The post also described the Israeli military of vandalizing vital civilian infrastructure, calling it a violation. Now, there is no immediate comment from the Israeli military on this specific incident, and the video's caption labels the action as Israeli violence. Tensions in the West Asia continue to escalate, with diplomatic efforts stalled and economic ripples spreading globally. Hezbollah leader Naim Qassem has rejected Lebanon's planned direct talks with Israel, calling them a grave sin that could destabilize the country. He also said to categorically reject direct negotiations with Israel, and those in power should know that their actions will not benefit Lebanon or themselves. Qassem warned authorities against proceeding, saying such moves would only push Lebanon deeper into instability. Meanwhile, Iran has blamed the United States for the breakdown in negotiations. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says excessive demands by Washington derailed progress, adding that safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz remains a critical global concern. Araghchi blamed Washington for the failure of talks after landing in Russia as part of a whirlwind diplomatic tour, with direct negotiations between the warring parties seemingly at an impasse. The U.S. approaches, he adds, caused the previous round of negotiations, despite progress, to fail to reach its goals because of the excessive demands. Now, currently, Araghchi shuttled to and from mediators Pakistan and Oman on Sunday before heading to Russia, where he is due to meet President Vladimir Putin. Iran has long demanded Washington acknowledge its right to enrich uranium, which Tehran says it only seeks for peaceful purposes, but which Western powers say is aimed at building nuclear weapons. On the other hand, U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran can simply pick up the phone if it wants to negotiate as tensions escalate over the ongoing conflict. In efforts to negotiate an end to the two-month war, and stressed it can never have a nuclear weapon after Tehran said the U.S. should remove obstacles to a deal, including its blockade of Iran's ports. Hopes of reviving peace efforts receded on Saturday when Trump scraped a visit to Islamabad by his envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. Global markets reacted swiftly, with oil prices rising more than 2% as the conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran shows no signs of a resolution after 8 weeks. Benchmark Brent crude futures rose more than 2% to touch a 3-week high of $107.97 a barrel in Asia trade, stoking inflation worries and prompting traders to all but price out rate cuts in developed markets this year. But bond markets were calm ahead of central bank meetings in Japan, the US, Britain, Europe, Canada, and some emerging markets. While a ceasefire has frozen most fighting in the war triggered by US-Israeli strikes on Iran 2 months ago, markets are focused on the shuttered Strait of Hormuz, crossed by barely any ships carrying cargoes of oil and gas. Oil prices rose, the dollar inched higher, and U.S. stock futures wobbled lower in early Asia trade on Monday after U.S.-Iran peace talks stalled over the weekend, leaving Gulf shipping blocked.